Hello, fellow lovers of liberty. My name is Matthew Dalton.
And I'm Robert Wasmund, and welcome back to the Journalistic Revolution.
This week on the Journalistic Revolution, we're going to be covering several different topics. We're going to be covering the debate. Fact-checking Romney first, and then Obama. We're also going to be looking into Monsanto and Blackwater. We're going to give a little background, clear up a little bit of...
There's a conspiracy theory roaming the internet right now that Monsanto has bought Blackwater, and we're going to discuss that.
And we're also going to be talking about the drone that was shot down in Israel that is claimed to be Iran's. We're not so sure about that. We're also going to be talking about the mainstream media poll that came out just recently by Gallup. We're also going to be talking about the cops that shot the naked guy. He must have been armed and dangerous. We're also, last week, during school, I would promise you guys I would get some video responses about the Apple patent. We did so we'll be covering that. Also, we're also going to be talking about a grandma.
The weed-smoking grandma.
The weed-smoking grandma and her bear spray. And we're also going to be introducing a new segment called Connect the Dots.
Connect the Dots is a new segment that we're going to be trying where we're going to be discussing the validity of the facts behind conspiracy theories, or so-called conspiracy theories. So in this segment of the Journalistic Revolution, we're going to be fact-checking Romney. Okay, now the reason I chose Romney first is because hands down he told more lies. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all, you know. But at the same time, we're going to cover Obama too because, a liar is a liar.
It kind of goes back to what we've been saying when everybody tells us, you got to vote for the lesser of two evils. And your comment to that is, how do you know you're not voting for the better of two liars?
At one point, Romney said, and I want to point this out first, he said that, Mr. President, you're entitled as the president to your own airplane and to your own house, but not to your own facts. It was a great statement. I applaud him for having the balls to say that to the president.
But what gives you the entitlement, Romney?
In response to Obama talking about his tax plan and how an economist said it was really good and so forth, Romney said that he saw 6 other tax studies that said it was completely wrong. And what we found in looking it up is that that's pretty much not true. There were no more than 2 independent studies out of the 5 claimed. But according to the information we found, those other 2 did disagree with Obama's plan. So, but it's still false because there isn't 5. There's 2.
Yeah.
And, he's over-exaggerating the fact. Also, Obama went on to say, and this one, he said that Obama said that he would cut the deficit in half within his first term in office. Mm-hmm. That one is absolutely and unapologetically true. He said that he would cut it the first thing in half. He said his first act in office would be to withdraw the troops. He also said that if he didn't fix our economy by the first term, that he would be a one-term president. Those are all true. I mean, congratulations, Romney, for overstating something that, we've already known. But, at least it was true.
Romney, again, promised to not reduce the taxes. I'm going to read this by quote. Not reduce the taxes paid by high-income Americans, and also to lower taxes on middle-income families, but didn't say how he could possibly accomplish that without increasing the deficit.
He never actually gave any details. The one thing I'll give Obama, even as vague as they were, he gave some details about his plan, and he actually has plans that are already out there that you can look up online. Romney has no such plan out there with any details. He didn't even vaguely describe what he would be doing. He would just say, what was it, if we'll borrow it, or no, if it's so necessary that we have to borrow money from China, then it's something we'll keep, but if it's not necessary that we have to borrow money from China, then it's something we'll cut. Well, that talks about, I would say, at least a quarter of the military spending. That would...
No, but he wants to raise that by $2 trillion.
But by his logic, we're talking about things that are so important that we need to be borrowing from China. That would be our military spending, at least a quarter of it. You could go into entitlement programs and not have to touch food stamps, Medicaid, or Social Security. There's a plethora of other entitlement programs like the free phones. Romney also said that part of his plan to create more jobs included a North American energy independence. he said that oil and gas production might be up, but Obama shouldn't get the credit because the increases were on private lands, not public. Production on public lands has actually dropped 14% in 1 year, but that's partly because of the hurricanes. So even though it's true that Obama shouldn't get the credit for the percentage going up altogether because it's been on private and public versus public land, you're not taking into account there was an oil spill and and then there was a lot of oil companies that had to shut down and cut off their drilling. You're not taking into account the hurricanes. So yeah, the oil production has gone up because of private industry. But at the same time, who do you give credit to that for? It's private industry. So yeah, it's true, but it is what it is.
Also, Romney claimed that a new board established by the Affordable Care Act is going to tell people ultimately what kind of treatments they can have, which is not true. And as much as I don't agree with the Affordable Care Act, the board only recommends cost-saving measures for Medicare and is legally forbidden to ration care or reduce benefits.
Yeah, that's been a big one for a while, these whole death panels. And I mean, it's been disproven and disproven over and over and over again. Yes, there is language that leaves a lot of stuff open for interpretation, but for the most part, they're not going to be deciding who lives and dies.
And let me make myself clear. I'm for healthcare reform done properly. I'm not for the Affordable Care Act by any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I am not for Obamacare, but at the same time, I'm not so against it. I'm just going to make up some BS to get rid of it.
The bottom line is, right now, we want truth and facts, and regardless of whether we agree or not, Romney was lying. So we're going to bring you the truth.
Romney also said that half of college graduates can't get a job. All right, now, okay, about a quarter of recent college grads can't find jobs in a recent study. And while another found jobs that don't require college degrees, another quarter. So yeah, half of the college graduates coming out of college aren't finding jobs in the field in which they studied. But it's really only a quarter are coming out and not finding jobs.
As much as it sucks not to work in your industry.
But that's happened long before this. You know how many kids in the 90s would come out of college and they were all like, yeah, I have a psych major. And I'm like, what do you do? They're all like, yeah, data analysis.
No, I've seen worse. I've seen worse. And this goes before the bottom dropped out. This goes before the economy went in the tank. I watched people graduate from college and kept their serving job because it paid better than what their degree paid. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, maybe some of them are probably stuck at working some dead-end job, but the facts are the facts. It's not half.
Yeah, I mean, so it's mostly true. Statistically, they're not getting jobs in their field. Half of the college students are not getting jobs in their field. They come out and they can't find a job. But they're finding a quarter of those, more of that half, are finding some sort of job, just not in their field. So really, you know, it's a quarter of college graduates can't find jobs coming out of it.
Now, this one here is kind of a half-truth. And I'll explain why. Romney accused Obama of doubling the federal deficit, which technically isn't true. The annual deficit was already running at a $1.2 trillion when Obama took the office. However, I will say that just because it was there when Obama got there didn't mean that he had to leave it like that. He could have, I don't know, maybe developed a budget to pass, maybe cutting some of that $1.2 trillion. So in a way, Obama is responsible for the $1.2 trillion per year, but we've been overspending as a nation, and our government has been overspending like this long before Obama got, and it got worse and progressively worse year after year.
Romney also made a claim that Obama is cutting $716 billion from the Medicare program. Now, this is true-ish. He is cutting $716 billion from the program, but it's reductions in Medicare spending over the next 10 years, meaning this money isn't already allocated to somebody, and somebody's not going to be getting less money. It's just over the next 10 years, $716 billion is going to be coming out of the program. He also goes on to say that these cuts, this $716 billion cut from Medicare over the next 10 years, is paying for health care, that Obama is stealing from Medicare to pay for Obamacare. Again, that's true-ish. I don't know how to describe these half-truths, these over-exaggerations. That money is going to be taken from Medicare, and it's going to be used to help offset the balance and the debt that's going to be caused from Obamacare. But it's not paying for the program. It's not, the whole thing's not being paid because of Medicare spending. There's other taxes that are involved, and I mean it goes in deep, over 1,500 pages deep. But he's not using Medicare to pay for Obamacare. I would love for that to be true. You know how much it'd be easier to get appealed that way?
Romney claimed that middle-income Americans have seen their income come down by $4,300, and that's too high. Census figures have shown that the decline in median household income during Obama's first 3 years was only $2,492, even after adjusting for inflation. Now, I mean, $2,000 difference, not a whole lot. But does $4,300 sound better in the middle of a debate than $2,492? Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to the store and it's $9.99 instead of $10.
Well, so far what I'm hearing is Romney isn't a liar; he's an exaggerator. Which honestly, and I'm sorry for all my friends on the right. The right tends to do that with numbers and statistics. They tend to over-exaggerate statistics and numbers, the politics, not individual Republicans or people on the right. But in their defense, liberals tend to over-exaggerate the emotion behind something. For the kids, for the kids. Something true, Romney said.
What?
He said that Obama failed to keep his campaign promise in 2008 about cutting health care premiums by $2,500. And that's absolutely true. He wasn't able to do that.
If Romney had just spent that whole 30 minutes talking about the promises Obama didn't keep, he'd have been in much better shape when it came to the fact checking.
Yeah, and there would have seemed like there was less difference between them.
Anyway you want to look at it, debates are debates. And the one thing I don't like about the debates is if this was debate class and it was done debate style, you would have to use facts because the moderator would call you out on it, for one. Two, you wouldn't be arguing back and forth about who got how much time, and really you would the better American people would be better off. Bottom line, when people have to go behind the debate and tell, let's say 100,000 people watch that debate. How many people are looking at factcheck.org the next day? Or PolitiFact to get the truth? How many people are watching our videos to get the truth? So
31.
31, yeah. 31. So only a few people are going to get the actual truth and the facts behind what's really going on. And we're going to actually, in our next segment, we're going to cover Obama.
Yep.
And we're gonna let his words speak for himself.
And one last little note, I just want to say that what we watch nowadays are not debates. They're live infomercials where they over-exaggerate facts and what their product can do, and then we get super excited and call them in the middle of the night and buy something just because we have nothing better to do. Check us out for the next segment.